following podcast contains spoilers for the book chosen and may include spoilers for other books in the same series. The participants of this podcast have also been drinking a lot. The participants of this podcast are professionals and did not drive home until sober. Please, drink responsibly.
You're gonna puke. Read! Drink! Blackout!
I'm trying to read.
That was the end of that.
Hey, welcome to Blackout!
Book club.
This is the podcast where the levels are huge
And the points don't matter.
and the points don't matter.
Thanks, Drew Carey.
Bing bong. Sound
No.
effects everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's the podcast where we try to read a book, drink too much, and then
I do read a
try to
book.
talk about
We
it.
try, but because we're all
I do
illiterate.
read the book. We try to talk.
I'm really bad. I'm just kind of illiterate, so
Okay.
me personally.
Pictures books.
I don't know what
Picture
I'm doing.
books.
Yeah,
And his
this-
next book, Very Hungry Caterpillar.
He's so hungry.
He's so hungry. Just eat something. What's wrong with you?
You damn fool! On today's episode, we have me, the strongest of the dwarves, Tristan Walsh.
Yeah. Then we have me, Tom, who's a man, which puts me slightly stronger than even Tristan. Thomas
Because
Hall.
dwarves' muscles
Thomas
don't
Hall.
get that big.
No, they're only effective in the mountain. And
Me, lover
you.
of food and quiet, the Hobbit, Jacob McDuffie.
Ah.
And today we have a very special guest, our Tolkien law expert.
I mean,
He's here!
I guess we have to pick a type. I guess that makes me a wizard.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
If you're gonna be stuck with
That's
the
probably like the
type,
best
that's
thing
not
to
bad.
be.
All right, what color would you be?
Well, yeah,
Because there's brown, white.
Probably blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
This
I'm
man
not
makes it
remarkable
seem like
in most types.
But that's pretty good, though.
I'm not as powerful as the
I
white,
would
and
be
not
okay
as boring
being
as
a
the
wizard
brown.
of any type.
Yeah.
Any
So,
type.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
Brown's not boring. He's just kind of weird.
Yeah, he's
He's a
just
weird dude.
He's supposed to be the weakest, right?
Well, he doesn't have like.
He seems like he gets
offensive magic.
shit
He just
on a
talks
lot.
to trees, and birds, and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Like he cares about the world, but he doesn't affect it in any way.
Right.
He's a piece of shit.
He's
Now,
Oh,
the
yeah.
important thing is, besides wizards, boys, what you drinking?
You tell me first.
I tell you what you're drinking?
No, tell me what you're drinking.
Oh, well, I am drinking.
Save the best for first.
It is called, well, that's what we like to do here on
Yep.
Blackout Book Club. We
That's the wrong
watch...
thing.
What?
This is not what you're drinking.
That's not what you're
That's
drinking.
not what I'm drinking.
This
That's
is the
Tom's.
final drink.
Mine's over here. That's probably what's
This
over
is
yours.
yours.
But
All right, what is it?
You already drank.
This is Rogue Brewing, beard beer. I got it because all the dwarves had beards. And
Yes,
I thought that
yeah.
was fitting. for
And
this.
for viewers who don't know, it is made with a yeast that was cultivated from the brewer's beard itself,
It's 34
which makes
year old
this
beard.
practically poop beer. Is that correct or am I wrong?
Uncut 34-year-old.
I'm making
Dingleberry
a face
brew.
because that's
Dingleberry brew.
gross. Dingleberry beer. I'm drinking Dingleberry beer, everybody.
Jay, what race were you?
I'm a Hobbit.
Myself with I can't remember what I said I was. Human.
man, you're
Me and the halfling are drinking Smith and Forge Clink ciders, which are delicious. And
I've got some barrel trolley over here from my boy Bilbo Baggins, the barrel rider.
Nice.
the barrel rider.
We got so
the
many
riddle
themed
master.
delicious
We'll
things
get it that
today. It's
And-
fucking rad.
And I,
Oh, yes.
as the chooser of the book,
The chooser.
got
The chooser.
Young Meg
decider.
wine, which is a New Zealand wine because that's where they filmed the
That's where
movies,
Hobbiton
and
exists.
all the mead was
For
sold
reals
out at
this
the
time.
store.
Not temporarily like they did.
And I got that.
Yeah,
and I
it's like
also
there
got
now.
Green Goblin Oak Aged Cider. But I got some wine. I got some wine poured out for everyone. So let's take a drink.
Oh yeah.
It is.
I'm excited. I don't know how
know
this
what
is
I
gonna
love?
taste.
I
Fine.
don't like the color. It
let's
looks
see.
Red.
awful.
Yeah, it looks like.
If you gargle it, it doesn't make it any better.
I almost threw up. How much was this wine?
$2.
Oh, that's why.
Oh my god! I just pounded the whole thing.
It's $2.
Why would you
Yeah.
do that? Never slam
my
wine,
God.
bro.
Now
Hey.
it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
But I'm
Oh,
sad. I'm so
fuck.
sad.
Now that we're mentioning, is there a currency in Middle Earth?
Gold.
What is that? What they use as
Fucking
gold?
gold. What do you think they went to the
They have-
fucking...
The whole book's about
They
it.
have
Yeah.
nothing else.
they got gold and trinkets.
gold
They have a
and-
trade barter system.
Gold and
Shit.
trinkets.
Yeah,
How many
trade barter.
trinkets will this
Which,
beer house?
and since we're on the subject of what they were trying to go for, let's summarize the book, boys.
Oh please.
Let's go through it.
Let's do it.
We
Opus.
read, as we'll repeat, The Hobbit this time because it
Oh
was
yeah.
Jacob's pick.
The Hobbit. This
Jacob,
is the
why'd you pick The
chosen
Hobbit?
by the chooser.
Yeah. Why'd you pick The Hobbit?
I'd never read any of the Lord of the Rings books, but I'm a big fan of the movies.
Yeah?
So I figured, hey, let's read one of them.
All right, and we did
enough.
more or less. And
Yeah.
overall, I liked it. It
Yeah.
was all right.
We're not at that.
Whoa. We got to summarize
Whoa,
first.
what are you
I'm not
doing?
going to give my feelings away.
You're
All right,
drunk.
What he wants to say? No, I just.
Well, you
Well,
need
maybe
to-
your
you need to-
Read,
you need to
drink,
more.
I blame the wine.
your
blackout.
shite wine like threw me all off.
I'm sure.
All right,
yeah.
we'll summarize.
This is
summarize.
awful.
We'll summarize.
All right, fine. We read The Hobbit.
All right,
What
Hobbit.
happened in The Hobbit?
All right, so opens up in Hobbiton,
Yep.
New Zealand.
Hobbiton.
Yes.
We got Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
We got Bilbo Baggins.
Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins is
Oh,
he's
back
a-
in.
Yeah. We got Baggins on the back end, and he likes to just hang out in his little hobble hole.
Hobbits seem like prudes.
Yeah.
You know, like they just hang out. They don't want any trouble. They don't want any fun.
He don't want no
Like,
trouble.
I don't fuck with the world won't fuck with me.
Yeah, he's like the Jackie Chan of.
They're all about. They're being all about being reputable, right? Does that mean there's no such thing as a Hobbit prostitute?
Probably not. It seemed like they were.
No wonder they're all pissed
reputable.
off.
In this book, they did not discuss lady hobbits very often.
Let me go to the expert. Are there Hobbit prostitutes?
I'm gonna go with no.
It's fact.
I mean, ruined it.
Rosie's kind of a whore.
Yeah.
But I'm done. Bang.
Sims and that's another book. All right.
Anyway.
All right, anyway, so continue on.
So
Prostitutes.
we meet Bilbo Baggins. He lives in his little hobbit hole. He's a tiny hobbit.
Not a prostitute.
Not a prostitute. Not in any way or fashion.
No.
And he is joined by the great wizard Gandalf. Shows up at his door and says, "Hey, we should go on an adventure." Big deal, right? He's like, "No, I don't want to go on an adventure."
But come by for tea, I guess.
Yeah, come by
Yeah,
for tea.
yeah.
So next day,
Yeah.
bunch
Good
of dwarves
morning.
show up.
Good morning. That's the worst good morning anybody's
yeah.
ever spoken.
Good
Actually,
morning.
Do you mean
Flying
it is
middle
a good
fingers.
Morning? Do you wish me a good morning,
Yeah.
or is it a morning to be good on? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But what we do know is
It
you
means
probably
F
should
you.
have said that if you
Yeah.
didn't want to go on an adventure.
Yeah. So
And then he burped. And then a bunch of dwarves show up the next morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many
They
dwarves?
slow
in
played
fact?
him though.
How many
Thirteen.
13 dwarves,
Yep.
and they slow played him. They did it
It's
right.
like two arrive.
There's a couple at a time,
there's
so,
some
you know, you
dwarves.
don't freak
I'm
out, but then-
confused. I'm eating tea.
Next thing you know, your whole
I
kitchen's
froze
just
it
all
and then
dwarves.
now
holy shit!
Tea cake.
What?
That happened later.
It does happen.
Oh, shit!
Gandalf.
Almost like Gandalf's done it before.
Gandalf needs new tricks. All right, continue.
Why
I'm
new
so
tricks
excited.
when the old tricks work so well?
So we meet all of the dwarves, which I do not have their names up because there's
Ori,
so
Dory,
many.
Nori, Killy, Philly, Biffer, Bofer, Bomber,
Feely,
Orin,
Keely?
Wallin, Ballin.
Did we say those?
And
I don't
Thorin.
know. And Bilbo.
There we go. That's why we got him on the show.
Boom.
Boom.
And Bilbo.
Nailed it.
And
So,
Frodo.
they all talk.
And
And
Legolas.
apparently Bilbo
Yeah,
has
and
been
Legolas,
described-
And Aragorn.
but only in the movies.
And Aethan.
Yeah.
And when
Bones.
And Bilbo
We'll give
has
her
been
some credit.
described as a master treasure hunter / thief.
Thief.
Just
Yeah.
master thief, and it's
Yeah.
like,
And it's
I
like,
mean, I'm not gonna say
mean,
no,
I make tea.
but
Yeah.
I'm
And they start talking about their plan, which is to go to Mount
The Lonely Mountain.
the Lonely
Doom.
Mountain,
Mountain,
and
yep.
steal the
Not
gold that belongs to Smaug.
Smoke.
formerly their gold and the people.
They
there.
want their shit back
They
and their
want
home
it.
back.
They want
back,
treasure,
and
treasure good.
Smaug's just
Treasure
kind of
good.
being an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yep, there it is. And so we then just join them on their adventure the whole way through.
Yeah.
That's
That's about it.
Yeah, it's there we go. We're all done.
All right.
Summary.
So starts off.
They leave town. They end up trying to go through the mountain pass first, which a lot happens
Oh,
there.
there's trolls and shit first.
Oh, the trolls.
Even before that.
Bert, Bill, and whatever. The
Yeah,
fuck his
Bert,
name
Bill,
is.
and Jonathan.
I don't know.
Jonathan Swift.
I can't
Yeah.
remember his name.
He was something in
Jonathan
history.
and Bill, the trolls.
Yeah.
There's also a third one. He had no name apparently.
Bilbo.
But yeah, they just kind of be an asshole.
They
Bob.
argue.
Then Gandalf
They
slow
were-
play, and
yeah.
then Gandalf's like, "Hey, I'm gonna impersonate
Yeah.
your voice."
Not super important. What is
Be gone
kind
with
of
you with the
important
dawn
are the
or
swords
whatever.
they got
Yeah,
from
they
the
get the
trolls.
swords because those also come into effect.
Oh
in
yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
Orcris,
They're kind of a big
which
deal.
is what's Orcris's other name?
Which is Thorin's.
Biter or
Thorin
beater
uses
or
that.
something?
Orcris is beater, or
Was
Orcris is biter. Glamdring is beater,
Yeah.
and then
Sting,
Sting
which
doesn't
is-
get named until later.
Yeah.
because
Yep,
he's
which
so
we'll get to.
stupid to just ask Elrond about it when they go.
Well, he names
to
it
Rivendell,
himself.
which they do next.
We'll get.
Yeah,
we'll
but he
get
could
to
have like
that.
asked about.
So
the
they
lore.
end up
I mean,
they end
no.
up getting the goblin slaying tools,
Yeah.
the weapons, the swords.
Right.
Then they go through the mountain. Hey,
No,
look, goblins!
they go to the elves
Well,
first.
they go to
the
Rivendell
elves are
first.
not important.
Yeah, they
Elrond
are.
is like one of the most important
Elrond's
people
the
in the
bomb.
entirety
He's
of
Agent
Middle-earth.
Smith.
He is Agent
Don't you
Smith.
get that? He's
And
Agent
if
Smith.
they hadn't gone to Elrond, they would not have known about the whole Door and Durin's Day.
That's
By the
true.
Bilbo
moon
would have never
ruins.
figured out to wait for
But the way,
sunset.
but the
There
way
are
the book
moon
was
ruins.
written, the way the book was written, this was like 2 sentences, just kind of shoved in a bunch of merry songs. You know?
Which they come up with pretty quickly, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Anyway.
We'll
I
get
think
to
while
that.
Tristan was reading, he went, Bilbo, skip half the book. They're in the mountain.
Oh, look at
What about the skin changer? What about Bjorn?
That's later.
That's later.
All right.
That's
All
after
right.
the
Calm
mountain.
down.
So,
Continue.
so they go to
Calm down.
Rivendell and they kind of figure out the whole Durin's Day thing, and they look at the moon runes, which they wouldn't have been able to do without Elrond, Tristan. And then they decide, all right, fuck
Elrond,
it.
Tristan.
Let's bounce through the Misty Mountains. All right, I
They
know
bound.
there's one path. This, it's supposed to be pretty cool or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Gandalf's wrong.
Which, that was the one thing I've liked about the movies. Stone giants?
Yeah,
It was way cool in the movie.
way cooler. Than
Yeah.
that.
They
They're just
actually
kind of
showed
like
it.
mentioned in the
Yeah.
book, but
It
in the
just
movie,
made it
they,
sound
like,
like a
make big
storm,
fucking
but like,
deal
oh
out
yeah,
of it.
they're off there
It's
somewhere.
it's the only thing the movie did right.
But that was pretty badass. Yeah. Stone
Yeah.
giants fighting in the rain. They're
like-
so metal. That was so
So
metal.
metal. Just like Pantera
So then-
played over that.
As they do,
Dun,
they
dun,
send
yeah.
Killy and Philly to find a place for them to like sleep because they're the young ones with the good eyes. And
Yeah.
that just seemed like they get all the shit jobs to be
Because
honest.
the youngest.
Yeah, they're the youngest. So
They're
fuck it.
bitches.
So they send them off. They find a
Bitches.
cave that looks
Slave
like, oh
people.
hey, look, it's
Yeah,
a cave.
sucks
Maybe
to
we'll
be
just
them.
nope.
Gablins.
It's the goblins front
Now,
door.
now can I talk about the goblins, Tom? Am I allowed to do that now?
Now that we are there in the story, yes, you may.
All right. So the goblins show up, and they just kind of fuck everything up.
Yeah.
People get distracted. People lose one another. And what happens to old Bilbo? He falls down, tumbles down, and he goes blind for a little bit.
He gets knocked out.
He goes blind? Holy.
He
yeah,
gets
he went
knocked
blind
out.
for a bit.
Oh my
It's just so
god.
dark that he can't see. 'cause
No.
He's inside.
Well,
of
no,
Because he's
he got up and
blind.
he couldn't see
It's
anything
just
for a
'cause
long
dark.
while.
It's dark.
And then Gollum cured his vision.
The line.
All right, Gollum is actually he's
He's an
just a master of it. He's an
ophthalmologist.
optometrist.
Yeah.
Ophthalmologist. All right, that's a thing.
Don't you work in the medical field?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you
Come
know
on.
what an optometrist is?
No, it was said Bilbo. I believe the line. It was something along the lines of Bilbo awoke and he was now blind, and I was like, well, he's blind. All right, I'm done.
I did not
You
remember
can't
the
see.
line.
Yeah.
but-
No,
It was just dark.
It wasn't. I know it was dark, but like the line was, he's blind, and I'm like, well, he got really knocked on the
I
goddamn
don't care
head
that
right
much.
there.
Continue with the story.
It came back. He got better.
He got better.
He was a newt, but he got better.
So he
wanted-
separated from the group
Yep,
after the
separated
goblins
to the
attack
group,
him.
tries to find him again, and then he finds someone super important. Finds our boy Gollum.
Well, first he happens to set his hand on the one ring,
He finds the ring.
just kind of like sitting on the ground.
Well,
there.
in this story, it's
Well,
just
it's
a
just
ring.
a ring.
It's a
Yeah.
ring.
He doesn't even know what
Right.
it is.
I was
He's just
gonna-
like,
I was
"Oh,
gonna-
here's the
like-
thing.
I was
kinda
gonna
like-
I was gonna go to into Gollum's whole like riddle thing and like his and then like explain the ring.
The
That's
big
cool.
reveal.
Whatever.
Well, you
Yeah,
gotta say you
big-
found
whatever.
a
He
ring.
finds something.
Yeah. Kill all my razzmatazz.
Yeah, I do
Kill
that.
all my
Your
That's our
razzmatazz
job.
died with Willy Wonka, bro.
Anyway,
all my wizards. So they have a riddle battle.
Yeah, riddle
He's got
battle.
a ring now. Who does this ring do? Riddles. They do
Where's
riddles.
my Kindle? Wait, I can't talk about talking. I'll talk about talking points later. Keep going.
All right. So they have a little riddle off. Gollum starts to play with him, but then he grows anxious, angry, and he gets a little mad. And this is the point where Bilbo first puts on the ring.
yeah.
And he discovers its power, which
And
is
the power is
to turn invisible.
badass.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see his shadow
Yeah.
in the sunlight. It's a very wiry, wispy.
It also depends upon the power of the wielder.
Wiry, wispy.
Oh, I didn't know
They
that.
didn't say that in the book.
That's why we have Ian.
Lore, bro.
Ian, guaranteed.
Lord, bro, and then a song.
I can personally attest that Ian has read every book ever that's been related to
All the books.
Tolkien.
You
Every
read
one.
everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
My jaw.
If Ian says anything wrong, Jacob will give you $5, listener.
Whoa, no.
Oh,
Anything wrong.
shit.
Anybody who
case-
catches anything.
So anyway.
Bilbo the Changeling is hanging out with his boy Gandalf,
Yeah,
the pink pixie.
yeah, he is a pixie.
Fact, I'm the lore master.
Let's
Jacob
fucking-
pay the people.
Let's power through this next section. We gotta
Yeah,
get through a
let's
goddamn
fucking-
book
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
So
So,
he finds out he's invisible, and he
finds
jumps
out he's
over
invisible.
Gollum,
Yep.
and escapes his way out of the goblin lair through
Yep.
a cracked door, and leaves some buttons behind, which he's pretty sad about. But
Yeah,
he
he
replaces those later.
likes his trinkets. That's what Hobbit's like.
Sneaks up on the dwarves,
Yep.
and they decide it's probably a
Appears
good
right in
idea.
front of him, and they're super impressed now.
We should probably run from the goblins.
Yeah,
at
they're
this
like,
point, right?
"You're
we,
cool. Let's get out of here."
We killed King Goblin. They're
Oh
pretty
shit!
pissed. Let's bounce.
Are those wolves?
They are. They're the wargs.
Fucking wargs coming over here?
Talking wolves.
Dang, those are spooky.
hate
Yeah,
those
it's pretty
wargs.
scary.
How are we gonna
they
get
hang
out of
in the
here?
Pine forest,
Eagles.
and then
Shut-
they get some trees.
They climb in some trees, hide
Climb
from the
some
goblins
trees.
and wargs.
Goblins and wargs show up, and they laugh at them because they're just hiding in trees.
Yup.
Gandalf sets pretty much everything on fire.
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
then,
The Eagles.
Eagles show up. and
Eagles
they're
show
like,
up,
"Hey, we should-
carry him away, and they're like, "Where are you guys heading? We're Eagles."
We'll take
Yeah.
you. We'll take you up to the top of this mountain. And
I wish they
cook
talked.
you some
Which-
mutton for.
I wish
a
they
Which-
talked in the
talk.
movie. I wish they talked in the movie so I'd hear what an eagle sounds like.
I didn't see the movie. In the book, there was a very small section where the Eagles were there, and the Eagles are just like, "Hey, we picked you up. Where are you guys heading? Fuck wolves, by the way, lol."
Yeah.
And then it's like,
That's
we're
like
heading
their mission
over.
in life is just to be assholes.
Yeah,
to
and it's like
Pretty
we're heading
much.
this way, and then they're like, "Cool." And the Eagles just flew them there and like flipped off the wargs with their wings, and then like that was all the
also,
Eagles.
props to Bilbo for just hanging on to Balin's leg the whole
Right?
time.
Yeah.
Like just one-handed,
Yeah.
like just
That is
fucking
strong.
shit miles.
Hobbits, Jack's Wall.
Yeah.
I can't even hold on to a bar for like a couple of minutes.
No.
Yeah, he went
Yeah, we've
American
done
Ninja
that.
Warrior.
We've done it. We've timed it. And I'm
It's
pretty
usually
shitty at
30
it.
seconds.
Yeah.
So they're dropped off, and now they meet the Changeling. Tom.
They go to the Carrick,
Don
and then
who?
from the Carrick they walk to Bjorn's house,
Elrond.
and they slow play him again because that's Gandalf's one like big
Yeah.
thing. He's
Yep.
like, hey, when we meet people, there's a lot of us, so we should just go in a couple
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
2 at a time.
And he gets super excited over the story, and he's
Pretty
just like,
stoked.
"Man!" And he just keeps leading him in. He's like, "Come on in! I
I
got
don't
bread
give
and
a fuck,
honey.
just
The
in the
story is
story.
sweet."
Come
Let's,
on
let's
in.
drink some mead and
Yep.
eat some cream and honey and shit.
I wish we had mead.
I wish we
I
had
do.
cream and honey and shit.
If only the
And
provider
shit.
and the
Yeah.
decision maker.
And so they are
I
they
fucked
are granted
Bilbo.
safe lodging in his home.
Yeah.
They take a nap. He's not there the
Queer
next
lodging,
day.
you might
He
say.
likes
Yeah.
bees.
Queer. Nice chapter reference.
I'll do what I can.
Then he then they wake back up the next day, and then it's like, "Hey, where were you the whole time?" He's like, "Oh, I was checking on your story."
I was a bear.
And a bear also. I was checking your story as a bear, and you guys were totally telling the truth, and I totally think you're rad now.
Mad
Here's all
props
these
for
like
fucking up
things.
those goblins, bro.
Yeah.
Here's some
Way to
ponies,
kill the Goblin King.
And,
Way
let's
to
ride.
and what blind the Warg King or something
they
like
fucked
that.
up everything.
They
Set the
fucked
Warg
up a
King
lot
on
of
fire.
shit.
Oh yeah, he had
ruined pretty much
firework
everything.
pine cones.
Yeah, fiery pine cones.
And he was just
napalm
like,
pine cones.
Yeah, he was just like, "You did real good. Take all
Holy
these
shit!
treats."
Did you just hear that metal band name?
Napalm
Pine
Pine
Cones.
Cones.
Oh, that's a
Ah,
Yeah.
we are Napalm Pine Cones.
All the double bass.
Yeah, Stone Giants.
So he's stupid.
So that's their first album.
yeah.
Napalm
So
Pine
it's
Cones'
some
first album.
ponies.
So
Giants.
he gives them safe passage. He gives them ponies. He gives them
Food.
wares,
Dried fruit, all
food,
kinds
dried
of
fruit,
shit.
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, stay on the path, idiots."
Don't fuck up and don't drink
gotta-
the water.
yeah,
We're
don't
going to
drink the
We're
water,
going to
Don't drink the water, it's a
Mirkwood.
bad
Yeah.
idea.
Don't drink the water. Stay on the path. You don't
It's
do
like
those
Mexico.
things.
Don't fuck up.
You're fucking
Don't drink the
Yeah,
water.
dead.
yeah,
It's like Mexico.
So naturally,
So they get to
fucking ruined
Mirkwood,
that.
and then they completely do the opposite of what they were told,
Yeah.
Dumb.
which is
After
now.
Dumb.
like a week of walking through Mirkwood,
Like they're running out of everything.
they're like,
and
we're out of
like,
everything.
They
Oh,
try
look,
to eat some black squirrels.
Well,
and they fuck that up.
What is it? Bolin falls into
Bomber,
the water.
Bomber.
the fat
Yeah,
one,
Bomber
he falls in
falls in
and
the
just
water
falls asleep.
and just naps. Just
Just
naps
falls
for
asleep.
days.
and then they
whatever.
fucking carry the fat
Yeah.
ass.
Because he's just a shit. He's a shit
So
bag.
it
at
takes
this
4
time.
dwarves to carry his
Yep.
fat fuck ass. And they just keep carrying him. They run out of food.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, hey, look, some fire.
Fairy
over
fire.
There. Those look
That
like
looks cool,
campfires.
yeah.
We should maybe. And then, so they walk over there, and it's elves. And they jump in the fire, and everything goes
Yep.
dark.
Yep.
And they elf magic the fuck out of them like 3 or 4 times. And then some spiders
Yeah,
roll up.
Spiders.
Well, were they
Which-
just luring them deeper and
No, they
deeper
were
each
just
time?
partying.
Is that what
They
they
were just hanging out and
They're
everything.
cruising.
trying to get away
And then
from them.
14 fucking idiots
Yeah.
show up, and then it's like, whoa,
bro,
party
we
foul.
don't like
Did
people
not invite you on Facebook.
up in our business.
You're not over here.
So like shit goes dark, they all wander around for a little while, and then some
Yep.
spiders roll up, which is kind of a defining moment for Bilbo.
For
as a
Bilbo,
character.
because this is the first time he actually like combat something,
Right.
And this is where he names his sword.
right,
So
all the dwarves get taken.
All the dwarves get captured by the spiders. Mm-hmm. But Bilbo, while getting captured, he fights off the spider, tying him
So,
up, kills him, and now he's like, I have to save all the dwarves. It's all up to me.
I totally thought Bilbo stabbed
Gandalf's gone,
the,
by the way.
what-
I don't know if we made that
We
What
did
did
clear.
not
they fight,
mention
trolls?
Gandalf
Oh, yeah.
left to the
Gandalf was like, "Spooky Woods, fuck that. I got
I
shit
got
to
a
do."
necromancer to deal with.
when
But
they
you don't
enter-
know about that
yeah,
yet, so don't
when
worry.
they enter Mirkwood, Gandalf's like, I have to go do wizard shit. More than your dumb shit.
I feel like
Bye.
that he wrote that too.
You greedy
Token wrote that. He wrote wizard
Gotta go
shit.
to-
And Gandalf
Direct quote.
All right.
Magic
I'm the
shit.
lore master, all right? Direct quote.
For
Phil
a,
Jacob.
for a second, I
Wizard.
thought Bilbo stabbed the trolls, but I was thinking Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's
They were in the
I can see
bathroom.
how you would confuse
I was like,
that.
that was Harry
Tom's
and Ron
confused,
and stuff,
just like as a
stabbing
person,
trolls up the
so-
nose with wands.
So Bilbo starts chucking rocks at the spiders and killing
Yep.
them.
Because
apparently
as you know, all
That's all it
of
takes.
the halflings are just proficient in throwing rocks.
Yeah.
they just chuck rocks
We
at shit
whole
shot all the
paragraph
time.
Just games
Throwing
of
proficiency.
accuracy.
It's a
Like,
feat.
He
Bilbo's, like, real
bowls.
good at
He
throwing
plays
stuff.
lawn
Yeah.
darts. He's so good at games
Yep.
of general accuracy.
Yeah.
So anyway, he murders the fuck out of some spiders, saves all his dwarf friends, and then they like finally do a head count and realize, oh shit, where's Thorin at? He's kind of our boss.
Yeah, he's the leader of the dwarves.
He's like
dwarf
the king
We should
or
sleep
some
on
shit.
It. We should sleep on it.
Yeah, we should nap.
And it turns out that he
And
was
then we get to
napping.
the next chapter. Where is Thorin?
Taking
Hanging
Lizzie.
out with the party elves.
Oh,
He was
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
not really having a party. He's in the dungeon.
Yep, in the dungeon.
They're like,
Because
what are you-
Dungeon party.
He's kind of
Yeah.
a pompous piece of shit and
Yeah.
refuses to tell
Yeah.
him anything.
Because
They're
he's like, I'm the rightful king. What are you
My
doing?
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What?
Yeah.
You.
Exactly.
You wanted to eat a dick.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, I'm just passing through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I was
just
Val's
passing through.
Val's are like,
Lost. It's
why
like,
are you
what?
in our woods, dude? And he's just like, man, I don't gotta tell you
Yeah.
shit.
Why are you fucking our party? I was hungry.
Yeah.
So they just tell him like,
Was
I
it
don't give a
invite
fuck.
only?
You can
Shit.
hang out in our dungeon for 100 years if you're not gonna tell us anything.
They're like,
And
we
he's
live for thousands of years.
We live forever.
We don't give a
That is but a
shit.
blink of an eye to an
Yeah,
elf.
we don't give a fuck.
Thorin flips them the bird, then the elves flip him the bird back and throw him in the dungeon.
I love
That's
that
what
the
happens.
bird
then.
is so
then the
universal.
elves
Yeah.
take all the other dwarves.
All the
Bilbo
races
throws
know
his
the
ring
bird.
on.
Yeah.
Even
Bilbo-
the eagles
Even
did
the
it to
eagles
wolves
flipped the
earlier.
giant
Yeah.
birds.
So then all the other dwarves get captured.
All the other dwarves get captured.
Yep.
Bilbo puts
And
his
now
ring
they're
on.
all
Bilbo
hanging
puts
out
his
with
ring
elves,
on.
except
Yeah.
Bilbo.
He camps out in their dwarf, in their house.
He just
stealing all
runs
their
that
food,
place
drinking
for a
all their
while.
shit for a
Because
couple
he's
of weeks.
invisible now, and he's just like, I'm just fucking scoping this shit.
And finally, he hears about like a trap door that they
And the
have,
barrels
that they
go
send
through.
barrels down to the men of Lake
So
Town.
what does he
Esgaroth,
do?
I believe. if I'm not
Smart
mistaken.
ass. He puts the dwarves in barrels.
Puts them in barrels. He
That's
finally
all it
sneaks
takes.
them all out. He gets the drunken housemaid guy and
captain
the
guard
captain
and, like, secondhand
They
house
just
pro.
get white girl wasted on some pretty baller ass wine, and he steals the keys, breaks all his little dwarf friends out.
Did they ever say what that feast was for, or they were just having a feast?
They were just having a feast. It's just like,
Dude, those
bro, let's
people
have a wood
party
feast.
all the
All the
time.
time.
I wish I was one of
Well,
those.
it's like a
you know?
frat.
Party elves.
For the section, so.
Fuck.
All right, real
All right.
quick, power time. So they jump in some barrels, go down to Esgaroth. Hey, the dwarves are back. They're gonna go fight the dragon. So they go up to the mountain. They camp
Hell
out
yeah.
on the side
Well,
of the mountain
after
for-
this is a big deal because now after the whole barrel section, now they finally arrived at their destination.
right, like they finally see the
They
lonely
get
mountain.
to the lonely
Bilbo
mountain.
realizes,
So
holy
lonely.
shit, that's a big.
That's a
fucking
mountain. Oh,
Because
that's
he
not
thought
like
the Misty
my
Mountains
hole.
were it. He was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, we got here really quick. And they're
Yeah.
like, nah, bro, this is only like a third of the way. What are you
Yep.
fucking retarded?
Yep.
So they go up to the mountain, they camp out for a little while, and then finally Bilbo remembers what, Elrond said in Rivendell, and he's like, bro, Durin's Day might be the day that things happen. So he's like, oh, all right.
Alright,
So
let's
they
do
wait
it.
for sunset.
Cool. Loves
they see
it.
a keyhole, and they're like, oh shit, we should probably put the key in there, right? That's
Yeah.
not how
Stick it
it
in,
works.
stick it in.
They open the door. I'm like, all right, Mr. Baggins, even though you saved us like 9 times,
Yeah.
we're gonna. This is the part that you're actually going
Yeah.
to be here for. So go down there.
Yeah, you want your 1/14th, you go.
Bilbo goes down. He's like,
And then
oh,
he has a
shit.
nice discussion.
First he steals the giant cup.
True.
And then he comes back up and he's like, yeah, there's fucking gold in here.
Yeah.
Big goddamn
Check
dragon.
this cup out, and they're like, whoa!
Oh shit, gold. And then the dragon gets fucking pissed because
I like
dragons
13 dwarves. Yeah, go.
So then Smaug, because apparently he has an eidetic memory, just completely
They just know.
photographically remembers
Yep.
everything he has
Says,
because he
"Where's
spent
my
hundreds
cup?"
of years just sitting on gold. And he goes, "Where's my fucking cup at?"
Yeah. That was my favorite cup.
My favorite. So
It
then-
said world's greatest dragon on it.
Yeah.
So
That was really
he flips his shit. They go, damn, Bilbo, you should go back in there. And he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan, guys. I think I'll go down there and piss off a dragon. So he does that.
And then he gets the Arkenstone.
Exactly. Well, he pisses off the dragon, and the dragon's like, you're a piece of shit. Throw some fire at him. He goes back upstairs.
Well,
and then he goes
Yeah.
out and fucking romps around, sees some
Yeah.
ponies, goes, oh shit, this was the men of Dale's fault. And then he just goes and shits all over Esgaroth.
yep.
Meanwhile,
Bilbo gets the Arkenstone. Now is like the leader of the dwarves. They're like, man, you're the best. And the dragon's like, fuck everything. And he flips them the bird
So-
too because it's so universal.
Dragon's
So
not.
Flies into town.
he's shitting all over men. The dwarves and Bilbo are just rolling around in some gold. Like, we did it. We're the best
Oh,
thing
my
ever.
torch went out. Oh, we're fine.
They're like the best, and then 13 dwarves are like, oh, no.
Thorin's like, man, you're the best. You can handpick your 1/14th share. So naturally, Bilbo takes the one fucking thing that Thorin cares about, hides it, doesn't tell anyone.
Because that's what he does with everything.
Yeah,
The
he just
Arkenstone.
did
Yeah.
the same thing.
He
with
saved
Rick.
their lives like 3 times.
Well, yeah,
Fuck
like
them.
the fucking ring. He's like, I better not tell nobody about my cool ring. It's mine. I better not
Action.
tell anybody about this cool stone. It's mine.
Action cut down to Esgaroth.
Yeah.
Dragons roll
Oh,
up.
Smog is
They
fucking
finally
shit
detach
up.
the bridge, flow down to the lake because it's a floating lake town. That's why they call it Lake Town.
Yep.
And
And we got our boy Bard.
Enter
with his bow
Bard.
and
our
arrow.
boy Bard. coolest dude
Boosh.
around, has a conversation with one of the last living thrush who are talking birds who happen to overhear about Smaug's.
Which apparently being able to
Left
understand
breast
them
spot.
is just a genetic
just a
thing.
genetic thing.
Because
has the
he's the
ability
heir
to
to
speak
the
bird.
leader of
Yep.
the ancient
You don't have to
town
learn
Dale.
it. You just
Right.
know it in your
So
blood.
the thrush
You
rolls
just
up
know
and
it in
is
your
like,
blood. You
"Bro,
feel
save your
the
last magical
conversation."
black arrow for the dragon's left breast area, and he's like,
Yep.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I
Yeah.
think I should do that.
Too
Bang.
true. Arrows.
Bard
Murders him.
kills
One arrow
Smaug.
kills the ancient and terrifying Smaug. He falls right on Lake Town, fucks everything.
And then everybody goes, hey, I feel like
Bard
there's
for
gold in
president.
that mountain.
Bard for president.
Yeah.
Hope,
They're like,
blue and red.
yeah.
We did
So then everybody goes, didn't he guard a bunch of gold in that mountain?
There's gold in them
I feel
hills.
like this is the dwarves' fault.
So
Yeah.
the elves
Probably
show
go
up,
there.
and the men and the elves get together like, let's go get some
Let's
gold,
go shit
bros.
Yeah.
gold and
They all high five and they're walking over there and they're like, man, gold, gold, gold. They're all
So-
chanting,
so-
gold, gold,
Again,
gold.
we cut back to the dwarves who now like are just hanging out, thinking about how cool they are.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna
best
buy
thing
so
ever."
much weird
When
shit with this gold.
The thrush bird comes back and
Uh-huh.
starts like cawing at them, and they're like, "Man, I wish he was a raven and not a thrush. Maybe we could talk to him." And he's like, "Oh, I get it." So he goes and gets one of the last living ravens, who's like the son of the former king of the ravens, is now king of the ravens. Whatever, we're not worried about all that. And he goes, "Bro, the dragon's dead." And they're holy shit balls, best day ever.
And
also
they're coming.
they are coming.
Yeah. It's like,
If you
oh
build it, they will
shit.
come.
And then
And
what
they
do we
came.
got? Movie 3 coming up.
Exactly.
There's a goddamn war.
So
Yeah.
everybody ever is rolling up on the Lonely Mountain.
Yep.
Man, there's some gold in there, and there's no dragon defending
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Naturally, Thorin's like, let's build a wall and play some music on our fancy gold harp. So they do.
Yeah. You guys jam on the fiddle. You guys build a wall.
Philly on the
I'll
fiddle?
watch.
I think so.
And then we get a very short section on like a huge battle that happens.
Yeah, like the Battle of the Five
Because it's
Armies.
from Bilbo's perspective.
So
Yeah.
like
Well,
everybody descends upon the mountain.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Thorin calls for help from his cousin Dane.
Let's
who's
not
close
forget-
in the Iron Hills.
yes.
Because he hears the elven.
I drank the
king and
shitty
men-
wine again.
Dude, I keep doing that by accident. It's really
So
gross.
he hears that everybody's descending upon him, and he's like, "Bro, I need help." So he
gonna
calls for his
fight the
cousin
wine.
Dane to come from the Iron Hills with like 499 of his best boys. They
badasses.
come rolling in just so much armor, and Bilbo goes, "I think I can help. Let me take the Arkenstone, which I've got hidden from everybody, and give it to the people
Yep.
who Thorin is pissed at, and pretty much make this as worse as possible."
Yeah.
So he sneaks out. Tells
He's trying
Bomber-
to give them like
He's trying to like
to
he's
give
trying
them
to give
like
him leverage, but he
leverage
just
so that they
fucks
can
everything.
get on an even plane and just
So-
end it.
He goes to Bomber and he's like, "Bomber, don't worry, I got your watch, bro. You just go take a nap because I know you're a lazy piece of shit." And Bomber's like, "Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan." I'm
Was
gonna
he
do-"
the guy who fell in the water?
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
sleepy?
Bomber sucks.
So he just spends. He literally just hammers.
Then why'd they give him a video game?
important to
Huh?
know- yeah.
Tell me about Bomberman.
Bomberman.
Oh!
Fuck you, God.
So
Get outta
meta.
here.
Damn it.
Inception.
So
Bum,
he sneaks out. Oh, lo and behold, Gandalf is here, man. Bilbo. You
Oh
made
yeah,
some-
Gandalf shows back
You
up.
made some. You made some.
Gandalf
good
comes
decisions.
back for the battle, which is nice that he decided to come back.
So he
Yeah.
gives the Elven King the Arkenstone, and they're like, "Man, you're willing to just give this up?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm a hobbit." Sneaks back in. All right, we get anyway. So everybody rolls up on the mountain, and they're like,
Yep.
"Hey, Thorin, we've got your Arkenstone." He's like, "What the fuck? Who
Yep.
gave that to you? It
Big-
was me, Bilbo. Lol."
Yep. Big
And
fight, lol.
Everyone's
Everybody's
like, we're
mad.
not friends anymore. I'm
Nope.
unliking you on Facebook.
Yep, and
Dane
then he
shows
dies.
Up, Dane shows up. The men are there. The elves are there. The dwarves are locked inside, and they're like, "Oh fuck, let's fight." Then all of a sudden, Gandalf comes out, and he's like, "Hey, bros, goblins are on their way."
Yep.
And they
Goblins
got
with
wargs.
wargs. So 5 armies.
Five
name 'em.
armies. They all fight. You got the goblins, the wargs, the elves
on
the
one
men,
side,
the dwarves.
and then elves, men, dwarves
Right.
on the other. Boom.
So they all fight. It's really kind of just like, hey, everybody
Oh, yeah.
fights.
Yeah,
Also,
everybody
Bilbo
fights.
gets knocked out. He's a piece of shit. Thorin's dead. Philly and Killy are dead. Hey,
Also
let's go
the
home.
Eagles show up.
Yep.
Eagles save the
roll
day.
out,
And they flip more
Bjorn-
birds.
Bjorn murders everything. Like everything is
like
pretty
our
much
Eagles.
useless until Bjorn shows up in giant bear form.
Oh yeah.
Murders pretty much everything. Sees
Yep.
Thorin get hurt, and then murders everything twice.
Yep. Like he was like not satisfied with the first
Like,
murdering.
extra pissed.
So everyone
Yeah.
teams up, fights the Goblin Warg army.
Everything's
those
Eagles knock
assholes.
out- Eagles show up. They push back the Goblin army.
Yep.
Yeah.
They win, but
But Thorin, Philly, and Killy are all dying or
Oh
dead.
shit!
Bilbo's just unconscious and invisible.
yeah.
That
Hidden behind a
reminded
rock somewhere.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
He
finish
wakes
first.
up. He's like, "Ah, shit! What happened? Everything's dead." Some dude's walking up and he's like, "Hey, why are these rocks talking?" And he's like, "Oh shit! I got my ring on." He's like, "Yeah, hey, somebody wants to talk to you." So he comes downstairs and Thorin's dying. He's like, "Hey, bro, sorry I was such a dick. In
BFFL.
retrospect, wealth is probably not the greatest thing ever.
Much love.
Best friends for life."
Yep. Thorn
dies.
Thorn dies.
Thorn dies. Feely
We
dies.
pass.
Feely dies.
Dead,
They're all
dead. Everybody's sad.
Hey,
then
let's
they
be
divvy
best
up gold.
friends.
But then they get.
Yeah.
But Bill was like, I don't even want a 14th share. Just give me like 2 chests
Yeah.
of
Give
gold.
me what I can
And
carry home.
at that point,
give the
Tolkien-
rest to men and elves and whatever.
At that point, Tolkien's sick of writing, so he just says there were some more adventures, but they got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Literally, that's what
exactly
happened. Like,
Yeah.
And then
shit happens.
Yeah.
And Bilbo's
And then
home.
Bilbo goes back to the Hobbit lands. He's like, "Oh, look at my nice little house." At the
Oh
end.
yeah, he was pronounced dead. So
Yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
auctioning.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
The Samuel Baggins
yeah.
is they just fucking ruin everything as they do,
Yep.
and they try to
Samuel
sell
They're
the
like,
house.
Baggins.
"We thought for sure you were dead." And he's like, "No, fuck you, give me my shit back." And they had
when
to
it
buy
doesn't
it.
go- Gone on
when it doesn't
vacation.
work with Bilbo, they just wait and then do the same thing later with Frodo.
And
Assholes.
the end. That's
end.
the Hobbit.
Here's my
Yay.
Yeah.
So now we're at the part where it's pretty important because now we're gonna discuss all the things that happened in it.
Let's
Hey,
talk about what we thought.
Let's talk
All right,
about that.
So, that the ending, it reminded me of Harry Potter when like I found out all these people died and I was so sad. I was like feeling Keely died.
Because it just like crushed
yeah.
it real
Yeah,
fast.
I was
I like
like-
feeling guilty because they're really the only 2 dwarves that are mentioned regularly doing
Yeah,
things. Like,
because
like,
they're the
yeah.
young ones.
13 dwarves.
Yeah.
They're the
Party?
young,
Yeah.
proactive, like cuz.
It was like-
Owen and
Yeah.
Glowin,
nephews of
they can make
Thorin.
fire.
Yeah.
They-
Yeah.
Biffer and Beaufort
And they
don't
were
do
always-
fuck.
They don't do shit.
anything.
They just rhyme and then exist.
Bomber's a piece of shit.
They lost their tinderboxes all
They
the
lost
time
their
anyway.
tinderbox.
They sucked.
Killy and Philly are the young ones with the good eyes.
Yep.
Thorin's an asshole.
Thorn's an asshole, but he's gonna get mentioned more because he's like the leader of
Yeah,
them.
he's
He's,
kind of
So-
Leader
he's
of the
the
pack,
rightful king of the
brum,
Lonely
brum.
Mountains. So of course he's gonna have some sort of like
Nori's in
right
there
to
with-
entitlement.
Nori's
kind of-
in there with Ori and Dory. Again, they don't really do much.
No.
Glowin is really only important because
He glows.
Gimli's dad.
He
He
glows.
only- Angela.
He loves
He's so
glory.
shiny.
So that's,
Only
I
when
mean,
elves are around.
Man, that would have sucked when he
13.
was a kid.
Like, I remember reading
Yeah.
it and thinking like there are 13
What if-
of you.
what if
and
every-
only 3 of you actually fucking do it.
and
This party
That-
would
I
have
agree
been
with
the
that
exact
too.
same.
And Feely and Keely
Yep.
are nephews of Thorin, so if he didn't have any kids, they
would
one
be
of
in
them
charge.
they'd be
Yeah,
like
they'd be
next
in charge.
line for
They're
the
in.
book.
Yeah.
That's
And
how- that's
all
how
of them
bloodlines work.
fucking die.
Just
Everybody
trash.
dies. So it's like,
Just
all right,
crushed.
Dane is now king under the mountain because
Yeah.
he called it. He called dibs.
And then he just
He's like,
flexes.
fuck yeah.
He
Nose goes.
flexes.
Like Thorn's
He
gang.
flexes.
Yeah.
He's just like nose goes.
Nose
Got
goes.
it. Got
Nose
it.
goes.
Yeah, I got it. I'm here, guys.
I love
Oh
that.
my gosh.
I want to point out. I'm not a big fantasy.
Yes.
I don't like that. I'm not dragons and
Yeah,
wizards.
you
That's not my
don't, you don't
thing.
enjoy a good read.
Does not like fantasy
It's
in
not
general.
like it's not like I hate it. I don't
He just it's
want to
overdone.
beat up dragon nerds. It's not what I want to read. It's
not
not my
his
cup
forte.
of tea.
It's not his
Yes.
thing.
He
So-
find,
but-
you find it overdone.
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind
just-
of like
But
whatever.
we play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Yeah, and then I
But that's
kind of try to get
different.
away
But
from.
even then,
Yeah.
we try
That's
to stay
different
out
because
of
it's
it.
elves
out
and
of it,
dragons
yeah.
and everything
Well,
the
it's
same.
So like it was weird when you picked this book. I was a little hesitant to read it. Like
Right.
I have to read it for the thing.
Yeah, you have
But
to.
like I'm like, fuck, this is like a fantasy book, and I don't really want to read fantasy. And it's also like the fantasy book.
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
Yeah.
things
Kind of
derived from this book.
This is
there's
the
there's
original
giant spiders.
invention
Yeah, there's
of-
giant spiders and everything because of this book.
I don't know when this
There's
episode's-
fucking wizards because
Yeah.
of this book.
I don't know when this is gonna come
elves
out.
and
but
dwarves because of this book.
on September 21st of. Oh wait, we're way past that anyway. So September 21st,
Well, 2
this
weeks
book
ago.
turned 78 years old.
That's awesome.
This came out in the 30s.
It's some OG shit right
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
sick, and we're still reading
I
it.
have,
Exactly.
I have
Like they're just now
Movies
making
are coming
the
out over
second set of
75 years
whatever.
the
later.
copy of the book I read
Yeah.
is my mom's book copy that she got back in high school.
Yeah.
Back in like
Shit.
the 50s.
Why don't we have Jake's mom on this podcast right
This
now?
copy-
Probably
Why
because
don't-
the only thing we would hear is for
My mom had
hours.
like a 4-book collection of this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $10 for the whole thing because the American dollar was worth that much back then.
yeah.
That's how
America.
old this shit is.
Yeah.
Like and that's why I was like, oh fuck, Hobbit. Now reading through it, it wasn't the best book I've ever read.
Yeah.
But
What's the best book you've ever written?
yeah,
That's
fuck
what I
you.
want to know.
Fuck you, asshole.
Hop on
I
pop.
said one word wrong because I had
Sexual
too many
abuse.
beers, and
gonna
then
be-
like Tom is a dick the rest of the
Probably.
podcast. That's how this works.
Probably
how this
party
works.
mummy.
So-
Summer
Probably
Swole.
party
Yeah.
mummy.
So it wasn't nearly. I thought it was going to be the driest piece of toast I've
Well, because
ever had
like,
to like.
everybody who ever talks about Tolkien is just like, man, he uses
He's
so
too
many
descriptive.
adjectives
Yeah.
and descriptors, and it doesn't really have
Hobbit-
a chance to show in
Yeah.
The Hobbit
Yeah.
because every chapter shit is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
And then-
if you
it
read Lord
Lord
of
of the Rings, it
in-
does.
in
Lord of the Rings
fact-
is very dragged out because he's got 3 books to just go like, hey, look how fucking green that green is.
Yeah,
I feel-
green
I feel
you've
like-
never greened before.
In
I
the-
have, but the Hobbit does a better
The
job
Hobbit's
of
not
just
that
like
bad.
because
It's
stuff's
short,
always
sweet,
happening.
yeah,
well,
you're
in this
very-
book, and that's what
you're
that-
very engaged.
Yeah.
the whole time.
It works really well.
Like
That's what I wanted to get to. Like, something's constantly happening, but so much stuff is happening. Some of it is a little weak, actually, written.
Like what?
There's a huge battle going on, and it's
the battle-
kind
yeah,
of
the Battle
like
5 armies, I feel kind
Yeah.
of glossed over almost.
It was
even
only like,
even
what,
like the
8,
battle, even
10
like the
pages,
battle,
seems like?
like the Eagles. The Eagles were
Eagle.
in there maybe like for 6 or 7 pages.
Right.
You know, they're like they show up. They just
save the day.
Yeah, they save the day. They're literally their heroes, and then they're just like, all right, later bailed.
Because they do it from like Bilbo's perspective, and he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
So they're like, and that's it, because we're doing it from Bilbo's
No,
perspective.
I get that. It's just like some of it was it was just written very differently than like what I thought
You
it was
didn't
going
expect
to be.
it to be
yeah.
his style.
Well, because I mean, the Battle of the Five Armies is a big deal, and then he just plays it off from like how Bilbo
And
was
the
involved.
Yeah.
and the Battle of
It's just
Five
like-
Armies is supposed to be the biggest battle that's ever taken place. Like,
Yeah.
period.
And then
right?
you have
It's-
less
well,
than
it's-
like a
it's-
chapter that's
one of
and
the-
that's
it's
it.
one of the-
That's
devoted
all you
to
get.
It's one of the largest battles
Yeah.
that's ever happened in that region, like
In Middle
since,
Earth.
you know, Sauron, circa the beginning of the Third Age or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right, can we talk about the Eagles? I love the
Sure.
Eagles.
All right.
But that leads me to another point. Throughout this book, Bilbo is constantly giving away the ending. This passage here, like when they left the Eagles, and so they parted. And though this is like halfway through the book, and so the Lord of the Eagles became in after days the king of all birds, and wore a golden crown, and they wore collars that were given by the dwarves. So it's like, fuck, they're gonna win, and they're gonna get away with the gold.
There is a
they
lot
do that
of
constantly.
there is a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
there is
They
There's
a
a
lot
let
lot
you
of-
know, like,
yeah,
okay, they're gonna live.
there's a lot
They're
of
gonna
Totally
win.
giving away that.
Yeah.
Token's
constantly.
like
you
these
don't-
things happen in the future, but you don't know that right now. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
happening.
I kind of like that he's just like, this is the end, but let me tell you how it gets.
But
there.
you don't know that like
Yeah.
Thorin fucking dies.
Right, like,
I
you
was
don't
like,
know-
holy
you don't know
shit.
you know
Yeah.
the ending, but you don't know the journey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot
I was
of
a little
foreshadowing.
excited when he died, not because I hated him or anything,
It's
just because
like,
that was
that's
a
a big
thing that was
deal.
not. Yeah.
It's you don't expect
He's a
it.
main
when a,
character.
When a main character dies, there are mixed
Yeah.
emotions. You're like, on
But-
the one hand, like, holy shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, he was a big fucking deal. But on the other hand, you're like, good. Like,
He was kind of shitty.
was
I
kinda a piece
hated
of
that
shit.
idiot.
And,
I think Game of Thrones has ruined that for me.
yeah, well,
'Cause
Game
I
of
don't
Thrones
care
is
about
different
main
because
Well,
they just kill
that's a
everyone.
whole different
Game
thing.
of Thrones, it's more
This
of a big
was the-
reveal when they tell
this
you
was
who's
the
No,
night-
no, Tom. This is Blackout Book Club, not Game of
meh,
Thrones
meh.
cast.
Summer
this
Swole.
was 1930s OG.
Oh,
all right, this was
shit.
way before.
Nobody
Game of
died
Thrones.
back
Yeah,
then.
back
And
in
they
the
killed off
1930s.
fucking Thorin.
Yeah, back in 1930s,
He
a character dies. It's
inspired
like,
that
oh fuck, TV's not
Which,
a
like,
thing.
I mean,
No.
Thorin was willing to give everything
have
to
TV. They don't even
regain
have
his mountain.
fire.
And then
He died
on
for
his
it.
dying life, he realized that money
Like,
wasn't
shit,
everything.
wealth isn't everything.
Friendship
And that's
is more
that's
important.
kind of a, that's
Yeah.
kind
Which
of a
is
big
kind
thing.
of hokey, but back then it was.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
When you haven't had that shoved down your throat for 70 years,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Back
yeah,
then
it's
you're
not
like,
as-
wow.
friendship is important, and then you call your friend Ted on his telephone, and you're just like,
You gotta-
"Hello, Ted. Hey,
Yeah,
I
think-
just read
think-
this book."
I think 78 years ago you'd be telegraphing Ted.
Yeah,
Ted, you're my best friend. I really
You're
hope
my
that we
friend.
can
I
still
want to
out.
hang out with you. Let's get a
But-
shandy down at the local. Oh, is prohibition a thing now? I don't know.
It was in Hobbiton.
I really liked how, like, throughout the story, like, Gandalf picks Bilbo to be the burglar for almost no reason.
Really?
Almost, just he's like, I went with your
Gandalf
dad
just-
and was
on a
pals.
bullshit
Gandalf's
hunch.
like, I think this guy's
I
gonna
feel
be
like
cool.
you've got potential, kid.
Yeah.
So
and then
let's
like
ride.
the whole time Gandalf's there, and like the door's like,
why
he
the
kind
fuck
of seems like a shitbag. He's like, no. Fuck you guys. He's
Wait,
great.
Just
wait
wait.
till I leave.
Yeah.
He'll
Wait.
prove himself.
and,
Just
then,
give me a
and then he saves their lives like 3 times, and they're like, Bilbo's the fucking man.
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
charge. You're in charge. What do we do next?
Yeah.
Thorin,
Bilbo,
shut the
what do
fuck
you
up,
think?
Bilbo.
Yeah,
Where
What
are
do
we
you
going?
think, Bilbo?
All right, I want to go around. What do you think is the best thing about Bilbo? Jake, you start. Tell me the best thing about
Best
Bilbo.
thing.
His Took side.
His Took side.
His Took
Oh, what about it?
Because he's like half Took and half Baggins, and the Tooks are known
make him
as
fun.
like the
More-
out there
yeah, more outgoing.
adventuring
Yeah.
hobbits that most like a lot of hobbits don't respect, but they're like the badass like warring
Yeah.
like hobbits.
They're
like,
also, I think,
they're
the
only
largest.
ones-
Yeah.
they're
Like
the
them
only-
and the
I get
Brandy
that,
Bucks
I
are
get
like the
that.
largest two families in
they're the
Hobbit.
largest,
So,
and they're the only
fuck you.
ones,
We're the Tooks. We don't give
They're
a
the
fuck.
only ones that are like willing
Dude,
to go on an adventure.
Did you
and
read?
fight.
Did you read the side chapters? Said the Took's family crest was just a middle finger.
Just
and,
yeah.
I didn't see
everybody
that.
in the
I
and
didn't
two
see that.
flexing
Like-
arms.
Oddly enough, Took in Canadian means beanie. All right.
All right. That's
Now you, Ian.
fact.
You motherfucker!
Yeah, try that on for
Yeah,
size.
fucking
Ian,
fat
best
guy
part
over here
about
with his
Bilbo.
facts.
I mean, my favorite part about Bilbo is the fact that he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's just like, you know what? The Arkenstone, this is like the most expensive thing ever. Yeah, just take it.
This
Whatever.
is my.
I love that.
Like, I like how the moment he saw it, he's like, "That's the Arkenstone for sure. That's fucking mine."
That's so
Fuck
funny.
you
I
guys.
get 1/14th. Eat a dick. This is mine.
You said I get first pick. I mean, he didn't like tell anyone. He's just like,
He makes, he
Because
makes
he does that with everything. He's
makes
like,
some of the
"Whoa, look at this
shadiest-
magic ring. This is mine. Hey, this dude's talking about a ring. Maybe I found a ring. He could suck a dick."
But I
and then he
feel
shows
like-
up and he's like, "Hey, I just appeared." And they're like, "How'd you do that?" He's like, "Fuck you guys. I'm
You
so
don't need
great.
to know, don't worry
I'm
about it.
so.
He's
I'm
like he's
rad."
so shady.
'Cause he
Yeah,
wanted-
even
Yeah.
the chapter where he has to admit his ring's power during the spider section, where he's like, "Hey, I got this ring. It makes me fucking invisible. Sorry, guys.
Just
Like,
go with
that's
it,
how I
lol.
do." And they're just like,
"This
"What?"
is why I'm great.
Yeah,
I have a ring."
And he didn't want to. He's like, "I guess I gotta have to do this fuck shit."
I like the fact that they just refer to the fact that he was just born with an extra like portion of luck. Like he's
Yeah.
just extra
Yeah.
fucking
He's just
lucky.
a lucky guy.
He
Yeah.
just like shit happens and he always comes out on top. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about Bilbo.
Bilbo
Tristonia.
should have all the scratch offs.
Tell me your
Bilbo's
favorite
really
thing about
cool 'cause
Bilbo.
He's just like a normal
My favorite
guy.
thing
Like,
about
you
Bilbo?
would see like every decision you make, he's like, "Yeah, I can
He
see why
fucked
you
up.
made that
He fucked
decision."
up there, but I can see why you
My
made that.
favorite thing about Bilbo was, at least in the story, he was kind of shitty, and
Yeah.
he's the main character.
Why do
He's-
you-
but he does a lot of good.
He
things.
does. No,
They
I'm not
never
saying.
would've
I'm not
made
saying
it.
he's bad.
he
I'm
does
not
a
saying
lot
he's a
of-
bad person. I'm saying he's kind of shitty.
He does a lot of growing as a character.
Yeah.
That's what
He's
happens.
definitely
when he
flawed,
starts,
sure.
it's just like he's the most Hobbit of Hobbit. Like he doesn't want anything to do with
Yeah.
anything, and then like it just goes to show that like when you're put in a situation, you either like
That's
rise
what
to
your
the top,
character shows.
you rise to the top, or you fucking die.
And he rises to the
Nailed
top
it.
Every time.
almost
Yeah.
every time.
Every time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was the thing. That's what I want to get to. Is like I liked Bilbo because he was flawed and he had problems, but he was a character that grew, and I like it when a character has problems.
growth, and
I don't
he's-
like it when the character is like perfect. I'm great. I like it when they're fucked up a little bit.
You didn't like the Bible. Oh, right. Next week's reading.
The
Anyway.
Bible.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about Bilbo?
Yeah.
He is really good at making up riddles.
He's pretty pro.
I was
at
reading
making
this
up
one.
Let's talk about.
Okay, wait, are we talking about the riddles
Yeah,
now?
dude.
Because I hated every riddle.
At this one part,
Every
he's like,
riddle. Okay. I'm terrible at riddles. Every riddle, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's not a riddle.
that's just you sucking, though.
The big one was the. You know, the
No, I admit that. I admit that
The-
fully. I'm terrible at riddles.
Most of them, you're like,
Yeah.
I can kind of figure out. Like
More
this one
boom.
means
Yeah, like I
this
got
one
time,
means
I got
darkness, this
time,
one
I got
means time.
darkness.
But then you look at the other one, like the what is
egg
it, 26
one.
white horses on a
Yeah.
on a red
Yeah.
hill. First they chomp, then they stomp. You're like, wait a fucking second.
Exactly.
Teeth chewing?
100%.
No,
No,
Get the fuck out of
no.
here. And
Yeah.
the other
Horses
one
are
is,
not my mouth.
And
They're not
the other one
molars.
is the-
It's simple.
No legs sits on one legs, two
Yeah.
legs eats on four
There's not
legs.
an
whatever
answer.
the fuck
It's
it
a
is.
paragraph
And
answer.
it's just like, how the fuck do you know that that's
Yeah.
a man sitting on a stool eating a fish, feeding his cat?
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's no.
Get
no.
the fuck out of here.
And then,
I
and
don't
then
care
like,
who you
and
are.
the way he writes it too, he's just like, and this is a very simple riddle, and he's like, oh, I totally bet Gollum could think of this because I
do-
couldn't think. I'm like,
I-
shut the
I like
fuck
how
up.
It's like, now clearly you can obviously figure this out because
Yeah.
You're not in a
I'm literally
you have
like
a
flipping
full body,
the. Yeah.
a full belly sitting on your couch, all comfortable. Like I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
I don't even own a
I'm
couch.
flipping the book off at this point, like, fuck you, Token. This is not a riddle.
It's
This
like-
is just you being
it
a cryptic
it
fuck.
It escalates so quickly from like time, darkness, and egg to fucking
Yeah.
What? How the fuck do I know?
100%. And then
And then Bilbo's
I
just
don't. And what like why I said I like Bilbo was because he was kind of a dick, which I thought was funny.
yeah.
He's like, what's in my pockets?
Yeah.
That's not a riddle.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't
No,
even mean to
it's
do
just
it originally. He was
I
just like,
know.
what the fuck's in my
Yeah.
pocket? And then Gollum just took that as a
Yeah,
riddle.
and then he just
And
like went with it. He's
accepted
like,
that.
yeah, totally. And he knew it wasn't a riddle, and he's just
Yeah.
like, I don't fucking
Just
care.
I don't know,
Well,
bro.
because
Tell
it's
me a
like-
riddle.
It's basically like a game for his life. He's like, no, fuck this guy.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
get,
be a shit
I
ball
get,
about it.
I get that too, but he still was like, man, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
on the whole,
Stupid
like
kid's
making
afraid.
shit up quickly note,
Yeah.
like it's not just Bilbo making up riddles. Like everybody in all of Tolkien, everything just they make up shit like rapid quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
songs.
All
and
the
shit.
elves
On that
making up
note-
songs.
Oh
dwarves
yeah,
making up
those
songs.
songs. The dwarves are like, "Hey, we're hanging out in this house.
Like-
We got a 7-line song we just
On
thought of."
that note, those fucking songs.
I skipped
There's
all
a
of them.
lot of them.
I didn't read a
Okay,
single
number
one.
they always come up with something perfectly like
Yep.
for that
Like,
situation.
the iambic
Number
pentameter,
two,
spot on.
on the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the spot. Number 2, I also always skip them
Yeah.
because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I read.
I read it. I read every one.
I
also looked up 2 or 3 of them online for like YouTube versions of just people making them into
Yeah,
songs.
and
they were kind of shitty, but like
Italics?
Because they're
italics, you
poems.
skip
They're
it.
just poetry.
Yeah.
It's not
just
meant to be put
poems.
to music.
It's
Like
just
if you read it,
this is
the
a basic rhyme
the
scale.
iambic pentameter
Yeah.
is just like A B A B B, and you're like, all right, I get this.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
just like
you wrote a
rhyme,
limerick.
rhyme.
You don't have a
Fucking
line
deal.
there.
Rhyme,
Add
not
tra la la.
Yeah, tra-la-la-la-la-la down in the
What?
like,
Oh.
fuck off.
Yeah, that's not words.
What was the word that he called the spiders when he was singing at them?
Shitty.
No, it's shitty facts.
Look at the shitty.
No, he,
Oh, I like how
Hang
when
on, I
Bilbo
know that.
was
Yeah.
he made up his
Can you
song.
look that
I
up,
was
bro?
like, I'm
Yeah.
invisible, you can't catch
Yeah.
me. And then even Tolkien's like, it wasn't great.
Lazy
Yeah.
Lob,
but
or,
it's
Crazy
nothing to
Cobb.
think of.
Yeah.
It was a stressful
He was
situation.
busy. He
Crazy
was
Kind of
Cobb.
some slack,
Addercop.
shitheads.
Addercop, Lazy Lob,
Yeah,
and
Addercop.
Crazy Cobb.
Yeah.
Addercop.
Is that a thing in like?
I guess it
and
must
just
mean
like
something.
like back
78
in the
years
30s?
ago, it must
yeah.
have meant something.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I was
I
like,
don't know. It's 2000. What
like-
year is it?
I like how-
2014.
14.
Wait. Summer Soul 2014.
It's just
2012.
apparently everybody's super quick of wit when it comes to songs.
Yeah.
Because even in Lord of the Rings, like
Well,
when
I mean, like back then they didn't have any other shit. It was basically like
They didn't
stories,
have the
songs,
television.
and, like
yeah,
riddles.
music
That
and
was
shit,
it.
Yeah.
And
But I
riddles.
mean, like
That's a fucking Tom when you're fucking telegramming Tom over on the other side. You're like, and he's like, she sent me another fucking riddle. God damn it!
Yeah.
damn piece of shit.
crushed that last
It's
one.
clearly a
Time.
man sitting on a chair eating a fish, feeding his
Why
cat.
are
You
they such-
fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good one because all the rest are broad, like time, wind, history. Why not like
Drop the
1976
fucking
Bears
Hiroshima
team?
of all riddles
Yeah,
on him.
Boom. Make it a more elaborate answer. All right, can I tell you guys something that really bugged me?
Hiroshima of
Okay.
riddles.
So,
Love that.
When the dwarves first came to Bilbo's house,
Yeah.
all right, they ate all the food. He was pissed because there were dishes.
Yeah.
And they crushed him. Yet in the morning, they left him all? What dicks? They can clean, obviously.
Dude, dwarves
Why didn't
are
they
fucking
clean-
shit
They're
bags.
They
kind of
are.
assholes.
They're
Like, and
dicks.
No,
I like
not
it.
them specifically, just dwarves in general.
Yeah.
Like,
I like
They
but
know
that-
how to clean.
But the book tells you that. Like he literally tells you at
Yeah.
points in time. He's like, hey, I mean, when money's
get that.
involved, dwarves are assholes.
yeah. Yeah.
That sucks.
Like they hold money above pretty much anything.
Yeah. Like they're gonna hold.
They're
gonna hold
greedy
grudges
guys. That's
forever.
their main. That's their
Yeah,
main.
yeah. He's gonna sit there and he's gonna be like, "Hey, these fuckwits did not clean shit. I'm so
I'll
mad."
clean it and then not go on this adventure.
Clean the
they just, like,
is
left
that
it
Bilbo?
Bilbo.
I like
Is
how
that your
Bilbo
Bilbo.
got-
Bilbo.
He basically got like peer pressured into going
Yeah.
on this adventure.
Yeah,
like,
you won't,
100%.
you won't, bro.
He
yeah,
woke
it's
up-
like 13
Yeah.
doors show up in his house and a wizard, and it's just like, "Hey, idiot, come on, do it."
No, what happened in the morning was he woke up, everyone was gone, and he's like, all right, cool. Like I woke up late, they already
Well,
left.
it was
I don't
Gandalf.
Yeah.
And then Gandalf showed up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right,
Get out of here!
Jake.
He's not going.
He's just
You're-
like, "What?" He's like,
Bro, you got like 10 minutes. Didn't you read the note?
Yeah.
Didn't you clean your mantelpiece, which
Yeah.
you apparently do
Don't you
every
dust
day?
every morning?
Yeah, it's like, and he just had like to sprint down to like
Yeah.
the market, and they're like,
Like,
cool, Bilbo's
oh,
here, let's go.
Yeah.
You're apparently independently wealthy.
That's like if
Clean your
Jake,
mantelpiece, shithead.
that's like if Jacob or you writes a passive aggressive note to me and then like hides it in the middle of a guitar. Like Tristan would go in
He
this,
plays
right?
music a lot.
Dummy.
He dusts his
Just like pinned
fretboards.
it to like a
Yeah,
wall.
you put it on the fucking door or something, somewhere real big, or the fridge, because you know this fat little hobbit wants to eat all day.
But
So-
if a wizard comes at you and says go, are you gonna say no?
I'm realizing.
No, well, like
Especially
you're gonna
Gandalf,
say, fuck.
Wade,
If Ja-
he's the
if
second
Jacob
most
or
powerful
Ian-
wizard in the
Yeah.
world.
After Sauron, I assume.
Yeah,
If-
but later he becomes.
Yeah,
he
if
becomes
Jacob.
Sauron
Also,
Well, no.
to be
There's also the
revealed-
necromancer. I like that.
But
He's like,
he-
he's like, hey,
not a
can we
wizard,
just
he's a
go around the
necromancer.
woods? He's like, necromancer's that way. Fuck that shit.
I'm excited to see how they conclude that in the movie.
Later,
But-
it's revealed though that Gandalf is actually in possession of one of the 3 elven rings.
Really? I didn't know that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I did not know
I
that.
don't know what that is.
Well,
to
there
do?
were the rings that were
Yeah,
all
yeah,
created, and
Right.
one ring
Totally.
rule them all,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Gandalf
3
is
for
in-
elves, 7 for
there's-
dwarves, 9 for men.
Right. So he
Nailed
has
it.
one of them. Galadriel has one. Fucking Elrond has the other. But then
Gandalf has the third?
has the one that was given to Gil-galad.
Gilgamesh.
He has, it's just like he never shows it or whatever because you can't see it unless you're a ring bearer.
Right.
And
Oh, Dumbledore.
'cause that's
Harry Potter.
why like, when Sam and Frodo are looking at Galadriel, Frodo can see the ring because he's a ring bearer, but Sam just sees starlight between her fingers.
They can't see the
you
the
can't see
ring.
no, you can't see the ring. because you're not a
Wow.
ring bearer. So later at the end of Lord of the Rings, at the very end, it's revealed that Gandalf has one of the
Spirit
rings
fingers.
when they are sailing off into the
Yeah,
west
yeah.
or whatever. He's just like, oh, by the way, I've got this law.
So what does Gandalf have?
It's I don't know. It's one of the
Some
Elder Rings.
kind
so
of
it's
ring of power?
Like Galadriel's
Why
is for
does
like
Gandalf
life
get
and
it?
beauty.
And not, like,
Elrond's is for wisdom, and Gandalf got it from Gil-galad somehow. I don't even.
But why
I
does-
haven't read the
yeah.
Silmarillion.
Why
So I don't
doesn't-
know all the
And
facts.
in Lord of the Rings, he's like, when Bilbo's like, take the ring. Or no, when Frodo's like, take the ring, he's like, don't tempt me. It's like,
Yeah.
well, he'll take an elf ring.
Bitch, you already have one.
Yeah.
But like that's really cool that Gandalf was able to just be
What if
like,
Gandalf? Well,
"Dude,
like,
I know this shit's gonna fuck me up.
I mean,
Get that shit
test-
out of here."
what if, but like, what if he has like 4 rings and he's just flipping you the bird the whole time? Because that's
I'm
what
also-
everybody does
I'm
in this
also
book.
realizing-
Just fucks each
I
other
know.
off.
That's my
realizing
thing for
now-
this book.
I only marked one page in this book because I've read it so many times.
yeah,
I
right.
felt like I needed to take notes.
I need a Tolkien lore question.
All right.
So in the movies,
No, I want
Hang on,
anything
hang on.
first.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only thing I marked was that Bomber says, I'm always last and I don't like it. And they basically just say, don't be so fat, you piece of shit.
I remember that when he goes into the
He
bear
does
and
suck.
wanted to be
the
the last one
shapeshifter.
to go into Bjorn's
He
house.
sucks.
Yeah.
And they're just like, don't be such a piece of shit,
Yeah.
man.
he just
And I'm
charges
just
like, fuck you
that's
guys.
hilarious.
He just comes in, he's just like fat as fuck, and he's just like,
shitty.
Yeah,
Like, maybe
he's
if you
just
weren't
like-
such a fat fuck.
yeah, he's like, oh, I'm sick
You
of
wouldn't count for 2 people.
I
And
read-
then when he crosses the river, they're like, hey, you can only ride with one of us.
Yeah,
and
and
we'll
then
go
he was
4
like,
at a time.
he was like, how come? And it's like, cause
You're fat, you piece of
Ugh.
shit. And they just literally rag on him the whole time.
Yep.
Anyway, what's your Tolkien lore?
I don't remember.
Damn it, Tom.
But
He remembers the bomber's fat.
one thing I liked was
What were we
because,
talking?
because
Oh,
this-
I remember.
Oh,
hang on,
Nah,
Tom,
you
remember.
gotta wait.
He's gonna forget
All right,
before
so
you.
I'm gonna. Let's see. Okay, so when Frodo puts on the ring, it's all like, oh, this is hard to see. Is that because Sauron was getting more powerful,
Yes.
and that's why Bilbo didn't have a trouble
I would
like
think
putting
so.
it on?
Well, his
'Cause he
power,
just
his
flipped around,
power
he's like,
is
"This is
directly
fine."
related to the ring, but also
Okay.
at the same time, it's like when Bilbo puts the ring on, it's just kind of like,
yeah,
you're kind
he's
of
like,
invisible.
oh, now I'm invisible.
They don't
Right,
go into
right, I
it
get
as much
that.
because
I
it's
think-
not revealed as the One
Oh,
Ring.
okay.
Yeah,
Sauron
yeah.
Isn't rising
Until,
power.
yeah.
I think it's because Gerald Tolkien wrote The Hobbit first. and
Gerald
then-
Tolkien.
Gerald!
His name is Gerald.
Oh!
Tolkien
Oh, it's Gerald.
Yo, that motherfucker.
hanging out with his boy Arnold.
Oh, that's what I was going to! He's got the tall hair!
That's it. That's
Can I
it.
talk now?
Sauron is stupid.
No, we're
Fuck
talking
you,
about Hey
Sauron.
Arnold. Welcome to Nicktoons podcast.
That's it. Saruman is stoop kid. That's why he won't leave his tower. He won't leave his tower.
It's all in there!
Get off your stoop.
It's so obvious now. Oh, I was blind. Now I see.
Oh, go for it. Go
so-
for it.
Gerald Tolkien, he wrote The Hobbit, and he didn't know that the ring was gonna be the one ring to rule them all.
I mean, I would imagine
Like,
he knew.
that's
I would imagine he knew something about, like he knew it was. Gonna
I don't
tie,
think he- I don't
but
think he knew.
didn't. I don't think he had like a full encompassing idea of what the power of the ring was.
Yeah, I just think like
And
yeah,
then,
like, he
like,
wrote it.
when
to-
you-
this is gonna have some significance, but then like it became.
And when
like,
you get into Lord of the
the
Rings,
ultimate evil ring.
When you get to Lord of the Rings, then you're playing more with like the spirit
Okay.
world and darkness,
Right,
and
right.
wraiths and all that
Yeah.
other shit anyway. But I think it is directly tied to Sauron's power as
All
well.
right.
Okay.
All right,
Anyway,
boys.
I just
Alright,
want
alright,
one
alright.
quick note.
All right, go
Yeah.
for it.
One quick note.
Take it.
I just thought it was funny.
grab me a beer.
Back.
No, you're peeing.
I thought it was funny when the trolls were arguing about how to cook the dwarves and Gandalf was fucking
Right.
with them. One of the trolls called one of the other trolls. He said,
Drolls.
He said, "You're a booby."
Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob is drunk.
I love that
Jacob is
Jacob.
drunk.
I love that Jacob just looked at me, and I love that he said, "Booby, you're a booby." Laugh, 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 laugh. That is an excellent way to lead into the next section of the
All right,
podcast.
next segment.
Oh,
I
Christ.
can talk all day. Hang on, let me see what the rest of the comments are.
Oh man!
Do I don't have anything. All right, thanks, dude.
Did he come down?
Man, Tom's got like 4 more notes that we didn't even get a
That
chance to touch.
No,
whatever.
most
Are they
of
good?
us we always have notes we can't get to.
yeah.
It just happens.
Movies are so different, lol.
No,
Catch anything after multiple reads, yeah, you do it all the time.
Yeah.
But what if Guillermo del Toro was to direct?
I want to know.
Guillermo del Toro
So-
directed
Hell,
So, listen to
Hellboy
this.
would show up.
If you could get-
shoot
The most
motherfuckers in the
action-
face.
If you could get any Lord of the Ring tattoo, what would you get? I would get biter and beater on my forearms, black light, blue and blue. So in the black light,
What is that?
there's
That's
orcs.
amazing.
That's badass.
That's pretty awesome.
Boom.
That's perfect.
Black light, you got orcs or you got orcs nearby. That's
they're,
sick,
They're
right?
I'll give you that.
invisible until black.
Yeah,
light.
until black light. That's sick, right?
Awesome.
Anybody else? Give me some
Awesome.
ideas.
No,
I'm gonna get-
I just made that up while peeing.
the only.
I
thing-
won't pee.
Made that up while peeing.
The only other thing I can think
Yeah?
is the inscription on the one ring going around your arm that does the same
That'd be
thing.
way better than
Yeah.
like a tribal.
Well,
or
I would
anything.
get it. I would get it
Yeah,
just
but
as
it's
the ring.
invisible
Yeah.
until
I mean,
it's invisible
until fire.
Like I'm
Until you
planning,
burn
on getting the
yourself.
Tolkien stamp anyway, but the
Yeah.
biter and beater is pretty legit anyway.
No.
That's pretty
I got
fucking
mine.
right
I got my
here.
ring.
Right on here.
Or my
All right.
tattoo now.
What is
All
it?
right. I want the eagles flipping the
Eagle.
bird.
Flex your back.
I hear the wind lord on your back, just
Just like on my back, so I can flex my back muscles, and he's just like, as I flex my like shoulders, it's just like his little wings going to little middle fingers, and just like flip the bird. And I'm
Just like two feathers.
Yeah.
Alright, so next segment. Anyway, I just wanted to read this. Like I saw the Del Toro, and I was like,
Boom.
what the fuck?
Well, now we're on this thing, boys. The thing we like to do here is we like to give alternate takes and/or sequels on the
Oh.
book that we read.
Oh,
Either
And
the
I would-
ending or the sequel.
I would literally
both. Why not?
love to hear what you guys say. Like
Does anybody
would be
wanna go
your
first?
version
I got a
and
long
or like
thing, so.
the next chapter, because obviously there's a
I'm
big
gonna
deal
grab a
because
cider,
there
so you go.
are following
There are
chapters.
sequels,
but
so
I
what-
would like to
what's
Grab a
hear.
beer?
What's our
Yeah,
ending
you're
of
going that way?
sequel?
I don't know.
What do you want?
What
No,
not Gerald
I just, mine's in
Tolkien?
the
Barrel.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, give me my big jug thing.
So Tristan, do you want to start or
I mean,
what?
I
I
honestly-
kind of want to hear what you guys say because we have 4 people this time and we have a little bit of limited time, and I just want to. I know Tom is like stoked over his.
He's running around.
He is
like
I'll
crazy.
save
running
Tom
around.
for last. He seems really excited.
I can go
Um,
first if you guys want.
I mean, mine is just honestly, I didn't know anything about the format of these podcasts. So I'm
Yeah, I
just kinda,
That's right, you're special
I'm just-
guest.
So
Special
I'm
guest.
just kind of going with the obvious,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is what if Bilbo hadn't been a piece of shit and just said, "Hey guys, I found the Arkenstone." Like how different would
yeah.
everything be if he didn't just keep that to himself?
What do you think would have happened?
I mean,
No.
it's hard-
Now,
like, he
what
would-
do you think would happen? What would happen in your alternate?
all right. So
In your take, what would
obviously,
happen?
obviously, he wouldn't have had any leverage when the people showed up. But on the other hand, I get the feeling that Thorin wouldn't have been in such a fucking grumpy mood.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
He would have been like, "Hey, look, I've got the Arkenstone.
It's
Maybe
true.
I'm more willing to barter with these people." Who
Like-
honestly, like he's raising a valid point. Like, yeah, some of this gold probably is there. They did help us. Fuck the king.
I don't.
He's a piece of shit. He took
Okay.
me. He took, but I mean, he probably would have just been in a more bartering mood if Bilbo didn't have the one fucking thing he wanted.
Did you make a valid point or a ballad point?
No.
Am I right? There's so many songs. There's so many songs.
No. Ian, do you want to sip of this? Is Belgian white. It's a blue
I just
one.
had my Belgian.
You're a
I-
Belgian white.
I'm
Mary, Mary,
afraid
Mary,
to
Summer
swear.
Swole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the one like obvious thing that I can think of.
Okay,
Because
okay.
that's the most down to earth.
I get
Like,
that,
just what
I get
happened
that.
to Bilbo? Just didn't fucking lie all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, Hobbit Jake, tell me yours.
Hobbit Jake. All right. I did an alternate sequel. As
Yeah?
Tristan mentioned,
Good. Oh, yes.
In my sequel, at
love
the
some.
end of the book
Okay.
of the
Of
Hobbit,
the Hobbit. Okay.
of the Hobbit, Balin and
like super
Gandalf
nutty.
come to visit him, and they have tea
Balin.
and they talking shit.
Right.
But that just continues on into the next sequel.
It's not bad. It's kind of got a
Where
little bit of
it
a
was-
maple nut.
Yeah. Very nice.
You're just interrupting.
Sorry,
my
I'm
this-
sorry.
no,
we were
Mississippi
having a
Mud,
Mississippi
very nutty,
black.
very
This
nutty.
is his alternate take. All right, so Balin.
Balin
so Balin
and
and
Gandalf,
Gandalf show
they
up.
visit him for tea at the end of the
Yes,
Hobbit,
yes.
and that just immediately continues on to the next book,
Right.
where it turns out where Balin and Gandalf had come to him for help, because it turns out
Okay.
that because Bard killed Smaug,
Smaug.
all of the other dragons
Yeah.
Oh
that
shit.
they've also heard of Smaug's destruction. They come, but instead of causing destruction, they now bow to Bard as the ultimate dragon.
Oh shit. That's
He's
kind of
so
rad.
Bard
Bard-
is now Dragon King.
Bard is now Dragon King. and he's
Dragonborn
all
Bard.
dragon.
And he marries
see-
Khaleesi.
And he,
Yeah.
Oh.
and
I
he
don't know
starts
what
a
that is.
siege on the Lonely Mountain.
Oh.
He wants it for himself, and they've come to Bilbo for help as the ultimate burglar to help
Bard burglar.
save
Burglar.
the Lonely
He burgles
Mountain
bards.
and defeat
Burglar.
Bard, the
evil Dragon King.
The evil Dragon King. That
Sounds
is
like-
my ultimate
I like
sequel.
that. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
That's
pretty
deep.
intense.
That's pretty sick. I like
All right, tell
All
me
right,
about
Tristan, what do
yours,
you got?
Tristan.
mine. The thing that I had a big hang up on was the spider section.
All right.
All right.
That's like halfway
Wait,
through the
are
book.
we doing
No.
complaints or are we doing all? Oh, this is alternate. Okay.
No, it's alternate take. So, because I had a big hang up there, my alternate take like derived from that.
Okay.
I was real pissed that nobody rode a spider. Nobody rode a spider.
You should play
And
Minecraft.
I'm so mad about
In
that.
Minecraft, the skeletons ride spiders.
I don't want to be a skeleton. I want Bilbo and the dwarves literally charging into battle on fucking spiders. Like, in my alternate take, they beat up the spiders. And the spiders are like, oh man, you threw rocks at us. Yeah, I'm real fucking pissed about that because rocks hurt.
Okay.
I get that. Then they go and do everything they fucking do. That's fine. I don't care. Then they go, and then the war happens, and then the spiders show up, and they're like, bros, we respect the shit out of you because you threw rocks at us. What? Now we're your steeds, and they fucking spider battle. Why did that not happen? I wasn't even drunk reading the book, and I'm just sitting here like, where are the spiders in this fucking battle? I'm so mad.
Dude, seriously.
Like,
So
can
in
you
your,
just
version,
imagine?
in your version, does Thorin survive because they
In
won?
my version, Thorin is now king of the spiders. He literally
King
is
of the
just like,
spiders under the mountain.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
shit.
just like, come, my spider brethren, we live here now.
On his shoulder.
Okay.
yeah.
Nobody
You're
can see the
massive.
visual, you
Tom,
idiot.
One day.
Tom, you're drunk.
One
now.
day.
Tom,
One day.
get out. You're
And he
drunk.
just, and then Thorin picks up the spider and he just puts it on his shoulder. He's like,
So-
come, follow
So go with
me.
me on this now. Now the Lonely Mountain is now covered in web from the Spider King.
Oh, of
so
course.
then when
Web.
Bard shows up with his dragon army, they
Oh,
all get
fuck.
stuck in the web.
Oh,
And then
shit.
they just murder the shit out of the dragon army.
You guys
Tolkien,
wanna-
if you weren't dead, you should probably get on this.
Tolkien's son. Get
So,
on that.
and
Stephen Tolkien.
now Ian has helped, obviously.
janitor.
Obviously, my alternate take then leads into the sequel with the Dragon Bard / Spider Thorin army battle, which
Can
is
that
a
be the
full
title?
book. Hell yeah, that's it. Just takes
What
a
Sorry,
whole
book
about
on
that.
the
The only problem is,
That
I feel
would
like,
be
I feel like a
fucking
battle,
awesome.
like a battle
Yeah.
of that epic proportion is only going to be like 3 lines.
Yeah, exactly.
That
The way
pisses
he
me
wrote
off.
it, he'd
And
be
then
like,
some shit happened.
I want a whole
No, no,
book
no,
on
no,
just
no, no.
one war.
it would be one paragraph, 4 songs, 7 riddles that are bullshit, and
More
that's over.
adjectives than you know what to do with.
Yep.
Like an entire thesaurus of adjectives.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted more spiders.
Tom, you've got a lot
Okay.
written down.
So I'm going to tell you mine.
got a goddamn
Mine
tail
is a
to
slight
weave.
variation that carries through and explains things in the other 3 books.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Now, which means spoilers for the other 3 books. So,
Everything's a fucking spoiler. What are you talking about?
so what happens is using magic, Gandalf preserves a piece of Thorin's soul in the mithril armor that Bilbo keeps, but he refuses to wear out of respect because Thorin gave it to
Respect
him.
for who?
So it's
Just
his,
Thorin?
Yeah, it's his piece of Thorin that he always gets to keep. Till on his 111th birthday, you know, he's old by then. He even says, like, my
He's
mind
old by
starts to wander. He gives it to Frodo, forgetting. So when Gandalf falls with the Balrog fighting it, and he dies temporarily.
Spoiler alert.
Tom is so stoked right now.
So
I'm
when he dies temporarily, the magic weakens, and Thorin's soul piece jumps onto the nearest living thing, which is Frodo.
So now
Oh,
Frodo
shit.
is Thorin.
Oh,
So Thorin's
Holy
soul
shit,
is
you
in
wrote
with
a lot.
Tristan. Dude, you have no idea. I wrote so much. So let's see. The lust for the golden ring devours him because he's got Thorin's soul in him
Oh,
now.
shit.
And you know, just the same as Thorin lusted over the Horde before the Battle of 5 Armies. He loved the treasure. So as Frodo gets to Mount Doom, he is so weakened by the part of Thorin's soul that Thorin's soul wins. So as Frodo slips on the ring the final time and says, like, no, I'm not getting rid of this treasure. This is the ultimate treasure. Slips it on. Thorin's soul jumps into the ring, realizes the evil that's in him. So then he weakens Frodo in the battle with Gollum. So that when Gollum finally bites it off, and like, fight.
Name's Gollum now?
Yeah, Gollum. He falls into the
Man,
lava.
fuck.
If you notice at first, it doesn't melt. That was part of Sauron's protection. It wasn't supposed to melt in the lava. It was crazy. But Thorin, as you know about dwarves, what do they know best? Working the mountain. Oh shit! So, he channels the mountain energy into destroying not only the ring, but all of the evil within the mountain. So, days later, as the dwarves and humans and elves, everyone surviving, searches the mountain for survivors, hey, can you guess what they find?
What do they find?
Something that can only be described as
I hope it's just like Thorin fetus.
something that can only
Like
be
Voldemort
described
style,
as
just like laying in the bottom of a cauldron.
Yeah.
something that can only be described as a second Arkenstone. Yeah, not only that. Hey, so this stone, guess what? Oh, Gandalf feels something familiar about this stone. What is it?
He's
It's
rubbing the shit
Thorin's
out of his
soul.
face right now.
Thorin's soul is in this Arkenstone. So, what do they do with this Arkenstone? Can I tell you what they do with this Arkenstone?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so what they do is they cut it and set it into rings. 3 for elves, 7 for dwarves, 9 for men. And finally understanding the greed of treasure, any of these people who wear these rings are not captivated and they understand the evil of greed, and they never lust over treasure, thus being able to rule their lands without being worried about greed.
I'm
so excited. That last sentence, he was so excited.
Fireworks.
I'm more excited about how Tom is excited.
Thorin's soul influences every single ring bearer from then on out.
I didn't
They
even
never worry about
His
lust.
past wisdom has taught the leaders of
Exactly.
everyone of how to
Boom.
not greed.
Put that in your
Yeah.
pipe, Tolkien,
Yeah.
and smoke it.
Whoa! Puff puff pass.
That's
puff,
my
puff, pass.
alternate ending.
Fantastic.
That's how it should end.
Yo, but, like,
I'm proud of you.
It loops. That's the first one I put effort into.
Tom, where's
Well
the
done.
Tom? Where's the part?
Motherfucker.
But when do they ride the spiders? Is
In your book.
yeah,
Thorin,
my
King
book.
of Bjorn Elven Smash, Thunder Rider,
Yo, did we come up with another metal band this podcast?
Stone Giant Thunder Smash Rider.
Two metal
No
one can.
Lead guitars, Guillermo del Toro. Da-da-da-da-da.
Can he direct the music video?
Yes.
I think Ian is the last one.
he already said it.
that was the
He
first
started
He said
it.
his first.
Oh, right.
I
Man,
am
you're
drunk.
drunk right
now. You are so-
Is everyone done?
Yeah,
so.
we did.
All
Where
right.
does the podcast go from now? I don't know.
We
Now,
did it.
well,
What do I do?
we finished. We're done.
done.
That's
Hey.
the book.
So do
No.
I say what we're doing
No.
next time? Or?
No, I'm gonna
Yes.
throw some things out there. Hey, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
are the best.
that was cool.
Thanks.
If you like the podcast, please share with your friends. That's the best thing you could do.
Oh my gosh.
If you think it's funny and you like it, just like tell people
Like,
to
we
listen
think
to.
it's funny, but we're pretty drunk.
We're,
pretty
yeah,
drunk.
we're wasted.
Maybe you should get drunk before you listen to our podcast. We should.
Jake is out the door.
Jacob's obliterated.
Yeah.
We should preface this.
I
shit.
went out the
Before
door,
you listen.
got
Yeah.
in my car.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea.
Got into the street.
I
For
feel
every
like-
podcast, you should be drunk.
Drink before you listen.
Jacob,
That
get
should
out of the
be-
sunset! No,
Yeah,
That
Jacob's
should be
gone.
a
He's
No,
that should be a
ser-
You will
disclaimer.
not be driving
Yeah.
to the party.
No.
Later.
guys, seriously,
No.
seriously, thank you so much for listening. We love doing this.
Yep.
If you like it, please share with your friends. Tell people about it. Like it. Leave us a review on
Yeah.
iTunes.
Follow us on
There's like
iTunes.
there's
Follow
nothing
someone.
better you can do for the podcast than just tell people.
Hand jobs?
Hand jobs
Well,
is
you
good.
can hand jobs us.
Come to wherever we are.
Yeah.
We'll take
We
a
don't
little
wanna
bit.
get too
Just a little
specific.
J.O.
Yeah.
Just a little.
They don't know where we are.
But
J Owen.
the important thing is, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a big deal because we invited Ian on this podcast because A, he is a big Tolkien fanatic.
Yeah. He
And
majored
B-
in college.
and
Am I
B-
wrong?
Major.
I
He's
am
gonna
wrong.
pick the next book.
The next
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh,
shit!
So
What is our
What's
next
the
book,
next
Ian?
The next book I've chosen. Jacob
Yeah.
can't spell it, but that's okay. We'll
I'm
He's illiterate. Yeah. He's
Johannes
I'm not.
Cabal, the Necromancer, a devilishly thrilling comic fantasy. It's basically a comic
Damn.
steampunk take on Sherlock Holmes.
Is that by
sounds like a
Jonathan
lot of fun.
Howard?
It is by Jonathan.
I know that because I'm
Jonathan
reading the
L.
screen.
Howard, as a
I'm
matter
reading
of
the
fact.
screen that you're looking at.
Did you hear that, boys?
It's-
We are gonna read
it's
a
an
fucking
entire series.
steampunk fucking Sherlock.
But
bitch.
I don't know shit about steampunk.
I'm so
Steampunk-
excited.
We're
Yeah.
pretty excited. about it.
Johannes
Steampunk-
Cabal.
That's right,
the
friends.
Necromancer.
Now,
Our
he's-
special
I'm
guest.
assuming he's not. I don't know. I haven't read it.
I don't. It's.
We won't make any assumptions
the
yet.
title looks like he's the Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
There's
don't know.
no
Maybe
There's no
colon.
colon.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe Johannes Cabal is just the series, and then the
I
Necromancer.
think
is
he's
the,
trying to figure
I
out
think,
who
yeah,
the
he's
next
trying
That
to
guy's
figure out
that
who it
guy's
is.
feeling her
Anyway,
up on
yeah,
the
this
cover.
picture's pretty gnarly.
There's
Um,
loop
Legitimately,
fondling.
It's like
legitimately,
a rabbit
I'm
riding a skull
stoked
train.
to
Yeah.
read this next book right now. I'm
Yeah.
a little drunk, but I'm very stoked to read it.
It
I'm
looks-
so
yeah, I mean,
excited.
it-
That's why we brought Ian on
All
here.
right.
He picked a good book.
Picked a
And
good book.
We'd love to have more special guests and pick new books
Yeah.
on future ones. Again,
Yeah.
thanks for having.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us in
we're
your
glad-
room,
glad to
in
be
your
here.
earphones.
In your ears.
In your
We
earphones.
like being
We
in your
appreciate-
ears.
You're the best people.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Or not.
Salute.
or just
Or
being
just
like
not
livid
that far.
and so angry.
Cheers.
So, boys, as we always end these, as of now, we're gonna have a cheer because
Yeah.
I don't think we did that ever.
How do you want to do it? Should we do a Lord of the Rings cheers? All right.
Are we gonna sing a song like all
Yeah.
the dwarves?
Let's sing it all in unison. One,
Yeah.
two, three.
Three.
I love to drink the beer. There's a really
dragons and treasure.
All my friends are hanging with me, and I mean, we all the glass.
And then we did die.
Boners.
Treasure.